21. We have 21 Walt Disney World Resorts across 3 different resort types to choose from when we are booking a Walt Disney World vacation. With so many choices in each of these categories, how do we know which resort type, value, moderate, or deluxe, is going to be the best for our visit? For me, the truth is that this has nothing to do with cost and everything to do with one very simple rule that I follow to help decide which resort type I am going to book for an upcoming trip. That rule? Spend my money where I plan to spend my time. That's the story this week. Welcome back to the Bear's Den. Value, moderate, deluxe resorts at Walt Disney World. These categories give us so many choices, and we're not even going to cover deluxe villa resorts because they really deserve their own explanation. But between the regular categories, which is going to be the best category for an upcoming trip? Well, there are 2 things that we do not want to base this decision on. First is the idea that moderate resorts must be better than value resorts, and that deluxe resorts must be better than both simply because they are more expensive. These are all Walt Disney World resorts, and you're going to have an incredible experience at any of them. Second is the idea that your budget determines what category you are going to stay in. Now, there are ways to absolutely save money on your trip so that you don't blow through a budget, but if you have a set budget for your trip, there are ways to spend that budget in the right places so that you can stay in a resort in any of these 3 categories. This brings me to my rule. Spend my money where I plan to spend my time. Let's break this rule down further, and then after we understand the rule better, we'll actually create some offers at different resorts so that we can see the rule in action. If you are planning to spend more time at your resort than you will be in the parks, then stay at a deluxe resort. A deluxe resort at Walt Disney World is going to have the most amenities out of all the Walt Disney World resort types. There will be the most to enjoy at the deluxe resorts, from your room to the pools, activities, and dining options. So if you're planning to spend more time at your resort, taking advantage of and enjoying those amenities, then stay at a deluxe resort as you'll have more to do. If you are planning to split your time evenly between the parks and your resort, then stay at a moderate. Moderate resorts are going to have great options for room types and are going to give you a good deal more in terms of amenities than a value will, but certainly not as much as a deluxe. Moderates will have bigger rooms than the value resorts, more options for dining, really incredibly themed pools, and some will have extra transportation options from the resort to other areas of Walt Disney World. Now, if you just need a bed to sleep in, a shower to shower in, and a pool to jump in a couple of times throughout your visit, then stay at a value resort. Value resorts will have the smallest rooms and the least amount of amenities, but you will 1000% still get that incredible Disney experience at a value resort. And you'll still have some amenities to take advantage of, like multiple pools, the arcade, and quick service dining options that are easy to mobile order and get you out of the resort and to the parks. At the end of the day, Walt Disney World is not about the money that you spend, but about the value that you plan for that money to provide. If you are not going to be at the resort for almost your entire day, every day of your trip, you're wasting value by staying at a moderate or a deluxe because you can't take advantage of the extra perks of staying in those resort types. With that in mind, let me show you that on the same budget, we can stay at any resort type of the 3 for the same amount of time if we just spend our money in the right places. So here is the rule in action. We have a budget of about $2,500. We have 3 offers here, all with the same dates, same special offer, same number of guests being 2 adults, and all for just about the same exact price. Now, what did I do to get each of the pricings to be about the same? I simply decided where I plan to spend my time for each offer, and that is where I am going to spend my money. So when it comes to this offer for Animal Kingdom Lodge, our deluxe resort, I decided that I wasn't going to be at the parks as much because I plan to spend more time at the resort, especially since I am spending most of my $2,500 budget on the resort itself. So I only purchased 2-day tickets with this resort offer. I also chose a standard room because since I am going to be spending more of my time at the resort, I can do the longer walks from my room to the lobby or to the pool, simply because I have the time to do them, but also because I won't be worn out from walking around the parks all day, so making those longer walks from the lobby or the pool back to my room, or from my room to the lobby or the pool, will be perfectly fine. And while I didn't add Memory Maker to any of these offers, I didn't add it to the Animal Kingdom Lodge offer because, again, I will not be at the parks to take advantage of the PhotoPass photographers as much. For our moderate resort with Port Orleans Riverside, the plan is to spend about the same amount of time in the parks as I will at the resort. So I went ahead and planned a 3-day base ticket for this offer. I also chose a preferred room because I wanted to get closer to the lobby and the transportation to the parks. I have a total of 6 days on my trip. So half of them I plan to be in the parks and half of them I plan to be at the resort. This is why I chose a 3-day park ticket. I also went with a base ticket not only to keep in budget, but to give me more time in each parks on the days that I am going. And as you can see, I even have room to either add Memory Maker or I have room to add Genie Plus on at least 2 days of my trip in order to make the most of my time in each one of the parks. Finally, for Pop Century, our value offer, we have almost identical pricing to Port Orleans Riverside. But because I am spending less on the resort in staying at a value, I am actually able to add 3 extra days to my park tickets and have a park ticket for every single day of my trip. Again, if I am staying at a value resort, I plan to be in the parks every single day of my trip to make the most of my park time, especially since there are less amenities to enjoy at the resort. So in this offer, I am investing the least amount of my budget into the resort and the most amount of my budget into my park tickets. So here is the secret to planning this way. I am spending my money where there is the absolute most value for my time. If I am not going to be at the resort because I have a ticket to be in the park every single day and I plan to be in the park every single day, why would I spend extra money on a resort that has amenities that I will never take advantage of? It makes no sense. So spend your money where you plan to spend your time so that you can get the most value out of your trip. Now, these resorts are actually my favorite resorts in each of these categories at Walt Disney World. Animal Kingdom Lodge is my favorite deluxe resort, Port Orleans Riverside is my favorite moderate, and Pop Century is my favorite value. If you want to know why, click the video on the screen right now, and remember, there's a great big beautiful tomorrow.